Over the years, I discovered my love for adventure and mystery novels. I would escape to the school reading room, where I spent long hours with some wonderful books from the library. It became a kind of refuge for me. There was a table in the far corner which I would occupy every morning and then hurry to during lunchtime and after school hours. Much later in the evening, after I had finished reading a book, I would talk to myself and become one of the characters or more as I limped back home. I would turn the plot over and over in my head, reveling in the magical world of mystery I had been drawn into. I first heard about Mahua from Shubir Chatterjee, who used to teach us English literature in school. Shubirda, as we called him, used to work as an editor with a reputed publishing house that paid him a good salary and provided him with a chauffeur-driven car, which, mind you, was considered quite a luxury in those days. One day, on the spur of the moment, he gave up his job and joined as the English language teacher in our school, which paid a pittance as salary. Naturally, everyone was taken aback, and his parents in particular were quite upset. Despite all efforts by them and his colleagues at work to make him withdraw his resignation letter, Shubirda refused to do so. Calcutta is a city where it is difficult to keep secrets, and before long, word of his impetuous decision quickly spread. Rumor had it that he was trying to get out of an impending engagement to a girl who, he suspected, preferred the perquisites that came with his job over him. When he conveyed his decision, the girl was inconsolable, at least for a week. Her friends convinced her that it was providential that it had happened now than later because, they added conspiratorially, imagine if it had happened after you got married. Her parents broke off the engagement. They promptly issued an appropriately worded matrimonial advertisement seeking suitable and emphasized in italics, sane applicants for their wheatish-complexioned, convent-educated, 27-year-old, 5 feet 3 inches tall daughter who had completed a bachelor's degree in history from Loreto College and had recently joined art, cooking, and dance classes. From what we gathered, Shubirda didn't appear particularly bothered that the engagement had been broken off, or that he had upset his parents, or that people were speaking ill of him. He was much younger than the other teachers, and his friendly, informal style made it easy to interact with him. Before long, he became quite a favorite with all of us. But he did come up with the most bizarre stories, especially the one about the beautiful Mahua, who, he said, had died over 100 years ago but continued to reside in her ancestral home on Moira Street. Naturally, none of us believed him, but it did send a bit of a shiver up our spine every time Shubirda told us her story. When he saw us staring at him disbelievingly, he would say, matter-of-factly, that it was all quite true and that when we were older, we could check it out for ourselves. A little while later, Shubirda did not come to school for almost a week. And then we heard that, without prior notice, he had sent in his resignation letter to the rector and disappeared. Telephone calls remained unanswered, and even the visit to his house by the principal and some of his colleagues only revealed a locked door, which the landlord needed to get forcibly opened. All they found was a sheet of paper on the writing table with a single word scribbled over and over again. Mahua. Teacher disappears. Police hunt for Mahua was the headline news the following day. Several inquiries were made. Many suspected foul play, but over time it ceased to be much of a talking point. While the missing person file was not closed, Shubirda was soon forgotten. For me, the next few years seemed to fly past. I managed to finish school and then college. A lot happened in between. You could say that my life changed.